So our next speaker is Jordan Harbinger. He's the founder of the Art of Charm, which is an academy that teaches emotional intelligence and confidence as a skill, and they actually do high seven figures annually in revenue. And he's also the host of a radio show that has close to 1 million monthly listeners, which is really, really awesome. So Jordan's gonna talk about some of the things that he's learned doing the Art of Charm.
All right, hey guys, I'm Jordan Harbinger from the Art of Charm. My company teaches emotional intelligence, elements of confidence, and relationship development. But I didn't always do this. Several years ago, I worked on Wall Street, and I was an attorney, which is one of the most boring jobs that probably a lot of you can imagine. And I had a quote-unquote mentor who I never saw. He was never in the office, and he was rumored to make more money than every other attorney in the firm. So I knew something was up because he had a great tan for a Brooklyn boy, and that's not normal. So one day he took me out for coffee, and I'm pretty sure HR made him do it. And he said, "Ask me anything." And I said, all right, because I didn't care about the job at the time. I said, "How come everyone says you make more money than everyone else, but you're never in the office?" And after a long, awkward pause, he told me that the reason he was out of the office and the reason the other lawyers were in the office at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday was because they were just grinding away doing technical work, and he was out doing important stuff like golfing, doing cruises, and doing charity events with other people that actually brought business to the firm. And so after I let that sink in, it changed the way that I look at work forever. Because what that essentially means is that your people skills are going to trump your technical skills no matter what. If you're billing hours and you're putting in tons of technical know-how, that's great. But somebody who can relate and bring in relationships will always beat you in terms of revenue and value to your company. So that, of course, prompted me to ditch technical skills, graduate from law school, mail it in for the bar exam, barely passing, and focus on learning people skills for the rest of my life, hopefully, right? At least for the next few years, and that led to the Art of Charm. And so essentially what I realized through that process is that people buy you. They don't buy your product, they don't buy your service, they actually buy you. They're looking at the way that they relate to you. And if you look to the left and you look to the right, you'll see people that are doing startups just like you, but people don't care about that. As a business owner and as a consumer of any kind, I know that I'm just buying something because I like it, because I like dealing with the person who sells it. Even with Joel's buffer, I use that. You know why I use it? Other things probably do that, but I like their customer service, I like Joel, and I like what Buffer does. But in that order, right? So I think for my purposes, what that taught me is that buying is an emotional process. It's not a logical one. And if you don't believe me, think about the last time you bought clothes, especially if you're wearing a leopard skin suit or red jeans with red shoes. It's an emotional decision. It's not something that you do because it's the best thing to cover your body. It's something you do because it makes you feel a certain way, right? Exactly. That's right. So you do that. And if you know what that means for you, that means that your first impression and the way that you carry yourself is everything. And of course, what that means for a lot of you is that your first impression is something that you think you make when you open your mouth. And that's not true. Your first impression is made when other people find you as a blip on their radar. In other words, when they see you. And you can't talk to everyone at the same time. But what you do communicate with all the time is your body and your nonverbal communication. And so we need to make sure that that is nailed all of the time, no matter what. And the way that we're going to do that is every single day, every single minute for the next 2 weeks, every time you walk through a door, you're going to straighten up with a string pulling up from your head. You're going to straighten your back up, and you're going to push your chest out and put a smile on your face. And don't exaggerate it. You'll look ridiculous, even more so than the guy in the leopard skin suit who's not here anymore, but you'll look ridiculous. And so what you're going to do is make sure that that changes your physiology. And that's going to change your mindset because it's going to change the way that people relate to you, and it's going to change the way that you feel about yourself. And of course, what we know from that, once you get good at that, is you can start to change the way that you make eye contact. And a lot of you, if you're like me, shake hands like this, or at least you used to, and it looks terrible, and people notice that. And if you notice the eye color of everyone that you speak with, you're going to start making better eye contact with people. And when you do that, you're going to start to see the anxiety melt away. And when the anxiety melts away, you're going to carry yourself and sell yourself better than you ever have, and sell your product better than you ever have, because of course, business to business, people buy you. They don't buy your product, they don't buy your service, they buy your personal guarantee, and because they like, trust, and respect you. And business to business, it's the same thing. It's because they like, trust, and respect you. And for first impressions, for most of us, that means we need to step our game up big time, which is what we do at the Art of Charm. And as for first impressions, this is my first impression for most of you. I'm Jordan Harbinger. I hope this was a good one, and if it wasn't the most enlightening 4 minutes and 58 seconds of your life, Sam's giving refunds in the back. Thank you.